Okay, we are back, and it's time to finish up this Geth invasion of the Armstrong Cluster. We still haven't found Saren out here, but maybe he'll be at the main Geth base we've been told about. We tracked a signal to a fifth planet in this cluster, a fifth system, and so we're going to go there, and hopefully we'll find Saren there. Alright, so let's get out of here and go over to this fifth system that we tracked the signal to. And it's over here. Well, I like Rex's dialogue. And I'm going to rely on Shepard's biotics alone. I mean, Rex has basically got throw and warp. Tally would be good to have, mainly because of all the Geth. Alright, where is this thing? Oh, we have to level somebody. Tally. Level that. Okay. So more or less it's right over there. Where is this thing? There it is. Got hit a little bit there. Nah, there's still one left, Rex. Him. I still missed him. Come on. There we go. It's the same bunker you see everywhere, only it's got this Geth stuff up on top of it. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna save. Oh, look at this. What did we get? Oh, that's nice. Alright, we got a bunch of nice stuff. I'm not gonna worry about it right at the moment, though. And I want to get rid of some of these before they become too confusing. In fact, I don't need anyone but the last one. Alright, hey gang, let's do it. Everybody got the right weapon? Yep. Okay. Tally. Can you like, ooh, that one. Tally, can you do him? And sabotage, yep. And what do we got going on over there? What are you guys doing over there? Let's throw him. And put up a barrier. On the monitor, Corian stands before a hushed crowd, warbling a mournful capella of worlds and innocence lost. The recorded song is dispatched to the Geth worlds behind the Perseus Veil. The transmitter shuts down. I take it we got more equipment. I don't need that. And I don't need that. We'll take the others. Alright. Why?
They're clear.
Oh, now I could save, right? Yep. No. A number of encrypted Geth data files. In the proper hands, they could reveal much about the evolution of the Geth since the banishment of the Quarians. What a coincidence. I know somebody who would like these files. See if there's anything upstairs. Nope. Anything back here? Nope. Alright, since Tally's dialogue advanced, I'm thinking everybody else's dialogue may have advanced as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run around the Normandy and see about talking to the crew. It's possible that the human dialogue hasn't advanced, so Ashley and Caden, but my guess would be that at least the alien dialogue has advanced, but we'll see. Actually, I'll bet Caden's hasn't advanced.
Do you have some time to talk now, Commander?
Of course. Have a seat.
We've played it pretty close to the book so far, but we're a long way from backup. We've got some tough calls to make. I'm just saying, try to leave yourself a way out. I've seen what cutting corners can do, and I'd hate to have that happen to you, Shepard. Commander.
That's not the appropriate way to address your commanding officer, Lieutenant.
I wasn't speaking to you as my commanding officer, ma'am. I don't want to send any bad signals. Just, working on what I've picked up. You tell me if I'm going too far.
Wonder what this middle one says. I don't know. I want to try that one out.
I'd love to, but I haven't the faintest idea what you're talking about.
Oops.
It's just my experience that once someone lets something slide, it tends to pick up speed. You get my meaning?
I feel like saying that because I don't get his meaning exactly.
You're talking about a particular example, aren't you?
You know the records about the biotic training out on Jump Zero? They're all classified because the Alliance made mistakes. After first contact, Kinetics was set up to track Element Zero exposures and develop implants for humans. Once we had an embassy on the Citadel, Kinetics could bring in experts instead of taking it slow.
Is there some reason we couldn't learn it on our own?
They didn't know where to start. Hell, it took a couple of years to even link biotics and Ezo. Forget trying to get the kids to move stuff. They had trouble just helping them not break their own limbs. And their choice of teachers didn't help much.
How did Shepard learn her biotics?
The only experts would have to be aliens.
Dead on. Turians, actually. That's why Kinetics kept it a secret. They were afraid of what people back home would think, asking the Turians for help when we just fought a war with them.
The Asari would have been more acceptable than the Turians.
Yes, but the company didn't go through the Citadel. It would have made Earth look weak, so they discreetly hired some Turian mercenaries.
That doesn't make any sense. It's all discreet. Why not discreetly go through the Asari? Or discreetly go through the Citadel? That doesn't make any sense. Nothing ever makes sense in BioWare stories. It's annoying.
Get your knuckles rapped a few times, Lieutenant?
Yeah, you could say that. Our instructor was a Turian by the name of Commander Vernus. To introduce himself, he liked to say, "I was at the helm of the dreadnought that killed your father." Well, I told him my dad wasn't in the war. He'd retired to Vancouver. My family had an inland home that matured to New Beachfront. Vernus had it in for me after that. He cut corners, pushed hard. I mean, you either came out a Superman or a wreck. A lot of kids snapped. A few died. The point of all of this, I guess, is that when you cut corners, it's not always obvious who pays for it.
Oh, you're talking about Kinetics cutting corners.
So why are you telling me this? Are you saying I'm cutting corners somewhere?
I'm saying it's probably inevitable that we'll have to, and when that happens, I want to help you. When someone important to you is up on a ledge, you help them. Keep them from mistakes better made by a kid.
Important, huh?
If I'm out of line, just say the word.
I wonder if that could end the romance line. I don't know if that could. First time I ever did a femshep, and I talked to this guy, I found out he was thinking I was in love with him. I was like, no. Mass Effect 1 is infamous for its ninja mances. You get hit with somebody thinking you're after them, and all you're trying to do is be courteous.
You're not out of line, Caden. But there are regs.
I get you, Shepard. I don't make a habit of complicating the chain of command. Just think about what I said.
We'll talk later, Caden.
I'd like that.
I'll bet you would. What you got? Crap. Always crap. I wonder how many side quests you have to go through before things advance. If you go through one main mission, things advance. But side quests take longer to get things to advance. Stop by the requisitions dude and see if he's got any decent armor.
Looking for supplies?
Yes.
Let's see what you've got.
What do you
You
think?
bet, Commander.
Why else would I talk to you? Yeah, anything? Anything? No. Anything at all? No.
Commander, good to see you.
You've been with CSEC a while. Have you seen much action?
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
I bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember this Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate. That case was a bit disturbing.
What happened? Why were you investigating him?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, nothing I needed to pursue. But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
You've seen this before on the Citadel?
Every so often, some lab sells unwanted parts through the black market, but they're not as bad as the psychos. I remember this one L-Corps diplomat we caught in my first year on the job. He was hacking people up and selling their organs, had the station in a bit of a panic. But this case wasn't that clear-cut. Turns out there was more going on than we first realized.
So how did you figure out what was happening?
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver. After a bit of digging, I discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Salion, the geneticist. So I went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development, but there was nothing. No Solarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
You're kidding, right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility, counteract the effects of the genophage. It doesn't work, but that doesn't stop them from buying. They'll pay up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set. Somebody's making a killing out there.
Overcome the... How is gonna having... Well, that's okay. It doesn't make any more sense than, like, using rhino horns for stuff.
What'd you do about the geneticist?
I brought in some of his employees for interrogation, to see if I could get them to talk. While I was interviewing one of them, I came across something suspicious.
Yeah? Go on.
One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview. We offered to patch him up and he got frantic, freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh. That was our big break. These people weren't just Dr. Salion's employees. They were test tubes. Walking, living test tubes.
He was growing parts inside these people?
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off. Most of the victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good. Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in them. Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
I hope he got what he deserved.
That's the worst part. We never caught him.
Why not? What the hell happened?
He ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees, and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
But you went after him anyway, right?
I ordered Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but CSEC headquarters countermanded my order. They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties if the ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. He just used them to make more organs, but they wouldn't listen.
Yeah, but what about the people on the Citadel? You want to kill this one dude, so you're willing to kill thousands of civilians just to get this one dude? Garrus, you're sick. Actually, the BioWare writers are sick. You gotta set up the situation better. Don't mention the fact that you could kill all these civilians on the Citadel. Last thing in the world I want to do is get killed because some cop thinks there's a criminal on the other side of my apartment complex, so we should just blow up the entire apartment complex to get that criminal. I mean, come on, Garrus. You'd make a horrible cop. I'm gonna go middle. See, I'm not sure what this shepherd would think about that. She's ruthless. But she's not chasing criminals. She's chasing somebody who's trying to destroy the galaxy. Maybe she agrees. Yeah, I don't agree, but I bet she does. Yeah, I think she would be mission focused like Garrus.
No wonder you hated it there. Those idiots just let him fly away.
Yes, they did. I went to Palin and told him what I thought of him and his policies. He said if I didn't like it, I could quit. Well, I almost did. All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
Yeah, what about the dudes on the ship? Alright, I'm gonna agree. I'm down this path of basically you do what it takes. Screw everybody who gets in your way, even if there isn't victims.
A few casualties is a small price to pay to stop someone like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, those hostages might be wishing they'd died by now anyway. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
Do you have any idea what happened to Dr. Salian?
I sent out feelers from time to time, hoping to find something. I thought I'd found him a while back. He changed ships and changed his name to Dr. Hart, his idea of a joke, I guess. I told the military, but they weren't convinced it was him. I got the transponder frequency for his new ship, but I just can't get anyone to check it out.
How do we fit in this side quest naturally into the story? I don't know.
I'll check out the coordinates when I get a chance.
I was hoping you'd say that. But Commander, take me with you when you go. If it's Salion, I want to be there when you find him.
That's the problem here. You never know how to fit in some of this side quest stuff. It just doesn't fit. Because we're supposed to be chasing Saren.
Commander?
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
Sure. I was just watching some mail from home.
Oh, before I go, we saw Caden in a news vid about the Normandy. He's cute. Later, sis.
Let's pretend this never happened.
Are you interested in the Lieutenant, Chief?
No, ma'am. And anyway, Scuttlebutt says he's already sweet on someone. What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on family mail.
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah, we've always been close. Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
Did your father serve with the fleet?
Yeah, took any crap posting he could get that offered space time. You know what? He worked his ass off trying to get recognized, but he never made it above serviceman 3rd class. He was real proud when I made Chief. First thing he did was salute.
What about your mother? You haven't mentioned her.
You must know what military wives are like. Strong because they have to be, able to raise kids while dad's away on a 6-month cruise. She has a degree in planetary geology. She and dad both wanted to see new worlds. She gave up her career to raise us, though.
You have more than one sister? Sounds like a big family.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, then Abby, then Lynn. Sarah's the youngest. She's still in high school. With 4 girls, Dad used to say he felt more outnumbered at home than on maneuvers.
Where did you grow up?
All over. We transferred a half a dozen times before I finished grade school. You go where personnel command sends you, right? I guess that's why I'm so tight with my sisters. We'd have to leave all our friends every 2 or 3 years.
Here, be a total jerk, Shep. No.
After helping raise them, your sisters still talk to you? Amazing.
Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever picked the right side option. I'll bet it doesn't say very much about anything different than the left, but let's see.
Sounds like your father wasn't around much. Wasn't your family stationed near him?
And Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I've enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
I wonder what that says. I'm not going to do it, though. Bored now. So I figured you would get that line anyway. So we've skipped the story about her sister and her experience where some guy tried to go after her. So we've apparently missed that entire story. Oh well.
I never thought I'd hear you reciting poetry.
Just because I can drill you between the eyes at 100 meters doesn't mean I can't like sensitive stuff. Just don't spread it around. Ulysses was my dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it. He had a dozen versions when he retired.
Does he still like it?
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home. Dad passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching, though.
I thought you said he was dead.
You know, from heaven, wherever that is. That's not a problem with you, is it? That I believe in God?
That depends on whether you have a problem with people who don't believe in God.
Commander, I'm not some kind of zealot. I believe in God. What everyone else believes is their business. I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
Alright, we're gonna talk to Rex.
What do you want, Shepard?
Why did you become a mercenary?
Lots of reasons.
Such as?
All three are the
Such
same.
as, I needed to get out of our system. I needed to eat. I needed to survive.
Why not stay and help your people?
I tried to help. That's why I had to leave.
What happened?
I was betrayed. I was head of a small tribe. We were trying to restore order after the war, but the other tribes were against us. They followed Jared, one of the few warlords who survived the war with the Turians. But he was old, and so were his ideas. He wanted to continue the war. He wanted us to fight. Turians, Solarians, each other. It didn't matter who, as long as we were fighting.
What did you want?
I just wanted Jared to shut up, to stop his ranting. I wanted him to stop leading the tribes astray. But he couldn't understand how much things had changed. we didn't have the numbers to go to war. Even if we did, the genophage made sure we couldn't replenish our numbers fast enough. I told them all to forget about war. We needed to focus on breeding, at least for one generation. And for a while, we were getting through. Some of the tribes started coming around.
So, you're going to breed for one generation, get your numbers back up, and then go to war. Is that what the story is here, Rex?
I take it the warlord didn't appreciate that.
No, he didn't. He arranged a crush with the tribes. A meeting on neutral ground. He wanted to talk. We met at the Hollows, near the graves of our ancestors. The skulls of our dead laid bare to remind us where we come from, and where we all go. It's as sacred as any Krogan place can be. Violence is forbidden.
Sounds like a trap to me. You must have suspected as much.
I did. But when your father invites you to a crush, well, there are some laws that even we hold sacred.
Jared was your father?
He was, until that day. We talked, but we didn't get anywhere. When it was clear that I wouldn't join him, he gave the signal. His men leapt from the graves of our ancestors like Krogan undead. The few that were loyal to me died quickly. I escaped with my life, but not before I sank my dagger deep into my father's chest. That is why I left, and that's why I'll never go back.
You must have family other than your father. Don't you miss them?
You trying to make me cry, Shepard? I've got some unfinished business with my family, but that's all.
What kind of business?
Before I left, I made an oath to my father's father. I swore to recover my family's battle armor. It was taken from him after the uprising.
What's so important about this armor?
It's a relic. Useless, really. But it was worn by 5 generations of my family before the war. It's rightfully mine. Originally, it was taken by the Turian military. We weren't allowed armor or weapons after the war. Now, it's in the hands of Taun Actus, a Turian scum who collects relics from the war. He's made millions selling Krogan artifacts that were stolen from my people. He's got several bases where he stores his goods, all fortified and guarded. I just don't know which base has my family's armor.
I'm not gonna bother promising to look for it.
So long, Rex.
It's not Shepard's concern. It's like, okay, fine. Also, I don't think I want to do that side quest because I'm not sure how it complicates things on Vermeer. It's too easy to talk Rex down if you've gotten his armor, and I don't want to mess up my chances there because it's already baked in that Shepard is going to kill Rex on Vermeer.
Shepard, I need to talk to you. It's important.
Is something wrong?
You know the data you took from those Geth control nodes? The information you uploaded to Alliance Control? I want a copy of it.
You want to bring this data back to the migrant fleet?
Those files have information that could be vital to our efforts to understand the Geth. It could be the key to helping us reclaim our homeworld.
If I give you this data, your pilgrimage is over. You'll go back to your own people.
Not right away. I'll stay with you as long as it takes to stop Seren. But my people need this.
It'll take years to decipher and analyze the data.
Maybe even decades, but it's worth the time. This information will give us new insight into how the Geth have changed and evolved over the past centuries.
I don't know why. I guess Shepard could say she's Alliance and therefore you can't have it. This is Alliance classified material now. But, I don't, this Shepard is not really super pro-Alliance. I mean, she's fine with the Alliance, she joined the Alliance and all, but she did it to get back at bad guys. And the Geth are bad guys, and if the Quarians want to go after the Geth, she's all for it. So, sure, have it.
Go ahead, make a copy.
My people, I owe you a great debt, one I can never repay. The only thing I can offer in return is what you already have. My solemn promise to stay with you until Saren and his Geth armies are defeated.
I am going to take this. Both of these say that's all I ever wanted. I've never picked this one. I'm going to pick it because I've never heard it, and also because, that's why Tally's here, to fight Saren. If she wasn't going to be here to fight Saren, she wouldn't be on the team.
I'll be counting on you, Tally.
Thank you, Shepard.
Alright, well, we've got everybody talked to now. Oh, I've never talked to the doctor. There's, I think it's some investigate options with her. She's pretty boring. I think that's enough. Our next stop is going to be the Artemis Tau Cluster, where we have to search for Liara Tassoni, the daughter of Matriarch Benezia. So we came up empty, looking for Saren out here in the Armstrong Cluster. Even though there was all these Geth here, Saren wasn't here. We still don't know what the Geth were doing out here. But Saren wasn't with him, so that came up a bust. So the next place to go to, I don't know if it'll help us track down Saren or not, but it might give some intelligence on Matriarch Benezia. Might help us maybe this Liara person knows something about this conduit, that she's a Prothean expert. Maybe she knows something about the beacon. I don't know. But we're going to go there next, because that seems like the most logical place. I mean, there's some reports of Geth around Noveria, but I haven't heard anything since I've left the Citadel, and that was a while ago. So that doesn't seem to be quite so pressing. So we'll head off to the Artemis Tau Cluster. But we'll do that in the next episode. So until then, take it easy.